definitely feeling much better after that. So yeah, that's the pre-race activation done. So 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so on the bike, on the turbo. Yeah, kind of a build up at the beginning, and then a few kind of sprint efforts just to kind of get the legs opened up. And yeah, I'm definitely feeling much better, because I woke up this morning, I'm feeling not too up for racing today, and yeah, kind of needed that just to kind of wake up the body, get the mind focused, and yeah, get myself ready for later on. So today we're over in Wakefield. So I think this is the 6th round of the Yorkshire League, and yeah, speaking to a few people, and they're saying the course looks slippy and very boggy, a little bit like the Hunsworth one that I didn't do. I think it was round 3 or something. So yeah, there's many people up here saying they're like, in some races they're switching bikes every single lap. So, and I've only got one bike, so I can't do that. So I think it's going to be, yeah, it's not going to be a fun race. I think it's going to be a get round kind of race. And yeah, definitely, like a lot of the people around me who I race against will have multiple bikes, so they'll be able to change bikes and stuff. So this means my race is going to be a little bit different today. Might be yeah, sticking with them for one lap and then dropping off when they all get to change and go onto new bikes. But yeah, let's right, I need to get changed, obviously. I'm not gonna, well, I just say actually my trail running shoes and might be a better bet than for these conditions. But yeah, I better get changed and yeah, head over to practice and see what the course is actually like. So if it wasn't for the conditions, this course would really suit me, and I think it'd be really fast. Yeah, but unfortunately, because of the rain we've had over the last kind of week or so, yeah, the ground is quite slick, and some of these tight corners and stuff, yeah, they are, yeah, unpredictable. You don't know. You go around them once and you got, yeah, I think I've figured that line, go around again the next lap, and yeah, you end up slipping out because yeah, just yeah, totally and utterly unpredictable. So start of the lap on this kind of top field, few different kind of hairpin corners and stuff. On the surface of it, not too technical, but when it got into the race, it was yeah, picking the right line, as I said, was difficult. So yeah, now heading into the woods for the well, it's not single track, but there was pretty much only kind of one line that you could kind of take because of the roots and stuff, and yeah, quite narrow. Yeah, important to kind of, yeah, get ahead of people in this section, just yeah, because there could be a big bottleneck, especially on that first lap. Yeah, when you just can't move up, you can't, then anyone makes a mistake and stuff, because it is quite slippy in here, a few different routes. And kind of quite tight, so yeah, someone makes a mistake in front of you, you are scuppered, and yeah, you're going to be held up. So dropping down the hill, and there's a few more kind of tight twisty corners with roots and stuff. Yeah, all of these would be in like normal, like drier conditions, would be pretty fast, pretty easy, but yeah, because of the conditions we're having today, it is, yeah, as I say, very slick on top, and yeah, making these innocuous corners a lot more technical. Now kind of turning back uphill, yeah, good opportunity to put some power down here before a few more kind of technical corners. So we've just finished the main drag uphill, and now coming to what is kind of the most kind of technical kind of section of the course. As it is on the practice here, these kind of 2-3 corners we have, kind of slightly off camber and stuff, but in the practice they were very much rideable. Yeah, but by the time we got to the race, things had changed a little bit, and it was a little bit more, yeah, it was a kind of toss up between whether it was faster to ride it or to run it. So yeah, especially like this corner, yeah, this one was getting a bit cut up on the kind of first few laps of the race, but yeah, as you can see right now, nice and easy to ride it, especially with yeah, having only done less than a lap. I've got lots and lots of grip still left on the tyres. Yeah, this next corner is yeah, just absolutely horrible. It's so tight. So someone like me, so over 6 foot, and yeah, not the lightest of the first line, not the lightest, bit top heavy. Yeah, that corner is extremely tight, and yeah, it's just super slippy through here. Yeah, as you can see, a few roots and stuff, and it's not much grip at all. Like even underneath the kind of top layer of kind of mud and stuff, there wasn't much grip underneath anything to kind of bite into. So yeah, made that section this kind of section really difficult to do. One thing to note is that last year we did this kind of course, but like kind of in reverse, and this kind of section here, dropping down from the opposite side and then riding up, was definitely rideable. But yeah, this today conditions going the opposite way, yeah, definitely not rideable. And yeah, getting up that bank was difficult. Yeah, definitely one to get off and run. It was definitely faster to run it. And then yeah, just a few more kind of twists and turns on this kind of top field, and then yeah, and then back over to the finish line. So I've done 1.5 laps, and this is the state of my bike so far. Basically, the wheels are just bald. Actually, there's a bit of treads poking out there. Yeah, I'm running 23 psi front and back at the moment, but I think I'm gonna drop it down to like 20, 22, 21, I think. And there's not too many. I have a couple of like roots and stuff at the top there, but you can kind of pick your way through them. I'm not too much about hitting the rim and stuff, or dinging the rim. Yeah, it should be fine, I think. I just need actually, the grip's not too bad. It's just getting used to like going sideways instead of forward at all times. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the pressures down a little bit. So I flew too close to the sun with my tyre pressures, and managed to burp the front tyre and let all the air out. So yeah, managed to only get 2 laps in, well, less than 2 laps. So that's not a great practice, but there, learned a lot. There's nothing too difficult, pretty much just every corner. It's just every corner is very slippery, but yes. Like, it's just a case of trying to be like control power rather than spiky power and stuff. Make sure you're pointing straight before you put the power down off the outer corners. But yeah, in terms of tyre pressure, I think can't go as low as I want to go on the front, just because running tubeless and yeah, burping the tyre, then that's the game over. So I think I'll stick with like 23 psi on the front. I think that was working, but then yeah, maybe like 21 on the rear, just for that extra grip, because there's a few kind of like bits where you're putting power uphill, but it's only like a small like drag, but just having that traction on the back wheel means yeah, no like wheel spin and stuff, and it felt good actually. After I dropped the powers down, I had lots of grip like going uphill after that. So yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. Unfortunately, didn't get as much practice as I wanted, as I said, but yeah, it's going to be a fun course. I think it'll be a fun day out. It's going to be grueling. I think the bike is going to be clogged up in mud after 2 laps, but yeah, we're just going to see what happens. So that's the warm-up done. Very similar to this morning. I'll kind of ramp up and then 3 kind of like spinny efforts, just kind of wake up the legs again. Nothing too hard, nothing too like taxing on the body, just kind of waking the body up like aerobically, and then just kind of making sure the kind of neurons are firing in the legs. Yeah, got about 20 minutes now until the start of the race. So yeah, I need to switch out the wheels again. Had the other wheels on just for the warm-up, put the stuff away, and then make my way to the start line. Yeah, all right, let's get going. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate there with James' wheel spinning off the line and unclipping and yeah, coming across my line, and yeah, I unfortunately held up by that. So yeah, went from second row back to probably fifth row or so, and yeah, losing probably about 20-30 places. Off the line with only 2 corners before it goes into the woods, so yeah, not the best start that I could possibly have. Actually, probably one of the worst starts imaginable. And yeah, so here I am now trying to pick my way through the bottleneck through the second corner, and then yeah, now returning into the woods, and yeah, pretty much stopped dead. So yeah, terrible start. Back in quite a few places back that I would usually be at this point in the race. And yeah, it's just now we're in the kind of single track and stuff. There's not really much chance to really make up any places and get in front of people. So yeah, maybe you can make 1 or 2 places up through here, but yeah, it's just as soon as someone makes a mistake up ahead, yeah, you can pretty much come into a stop. And yeah, it's just yeah, very frustrating kind of start to this race. We're still on the first lap, and yeah, it's just still finding it hard to kind of pick a way through, and getting caught up in other people's kind of mistakes and stuff, where that one there, yeah, it's just unfortunate. We're all constantly trying to learn the course, learn the conditions on the first lap, and yeah, it's a lot slippier than when we did the practice an hour or so ago, because yeah, the vet race has been on, and yeah, they've kind of churned things up again. And so yeah, it's kind of spending the first lap of this race just trying to relearn what the conditions are like, and yeah, where you can put down power and where you can't and stuff, and yeah, trying to pick my way through the best I can, and try and get closer up to the front of the race. But yeah, really kind of just stuck in this kind of mid pack at the moment. So we're now hitting this kind of technical section on the way back up the hill, and seeing people are actually getting off the bike and running this corner. So I decided to kind of follow suit. It seemed at the time a much quicker way of getting up the hill. Then there was the decision of when to get back on the bike. So I can see I decided to get on here. Some other people have decided to run a little bit further. I think I judged it just about right. Yeah, decided to jump on just as it was about to like kind of level off, and then able to get onto the power pretty quickly. But then heading into this kind of next section with this tight corner again, a guy ahead of me decides to ride it. I'm just like, do you know what, it's probably quicker for this tight corner for me to just run it. So yeah, managed to make up some positions here, but then again it was like when it's like all kind of slightly uphill, and it's like trying to make this decision when to jump back on again. Yeah, unfortunately I should have changed down gear before I got off the bike, and as you can see, yeah, kind of struggling with the cadence there. People were able to run past me, and actually I think I had this guy ahead of me on my line, and I was kind of caught between the kind of the tape and his like back wheel, and yeah, doesn't really have anywhere to go. And then yeah, then it's like, what line do you take? How do you get through these people unless you kind of be a bit of a bully and stuff? And obviously you've got a teammate ahead of me. I'm not going to be shouldering him out the way. It's gonna, yeah, it's like, I think it's like what I tried to learn in previous races is not trying to like just force my way through to make one position. If I'm much faster than someone, fair enough. But if I'm pretty much or kind of going the same speed as them, I'm just going to let them be ahead of me. I hope they don't make any mistakes. I don't know. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe that's the wrong way to ride these races. But yeah, it's kind of how I've been kind of dealing with it. So crossing the line at the end of the first lap, and I'm probably about 30-40 seconds down, maybe a bit more on the guys that I would usually be racing, and that's because of the nature of this course and the tight kind of woodland sections. If someone makes a mistake and the gap opens up, there's nothing really you can do about it. Can't really get past, can't really get in front of people, and then yeah, with all those gaps opening up, it's just I'm just kind of resigned to being where I am, and trying to kind of ride with this group the best I can. Yeah, but already my tyres are starting to clog up, and yeah, I'm not got the same amount of grip as I did even on the kind of practice laps, and yeah, kind of finding these flat corners at the top on this top field actually quite hard, and I'm finding it hard to actually stick with these guys ahead of me. Yeah, kind of now having to use my power on this faster section to try and catch back up again, and try and hold on to this group as best I can. Unfortunately, coming back into the woodland section again, made a bit of a mistake. I think it just something caught my eye, and yeah, wasn't really paying attention, and yeah, just front wheel slipped out, and yeah, just struggle to get going again, get back up to speed. Like, you lose this when you kind of slip out like that. Sometimes you just lose all momentum, and it's hard to get going again. And also, then you start making it. Then you start taking it a little bit more cautiously on the corners afterwards, and yeah, you just end up losing a bit of time and stuff. So, yeah. Already this gap is opening up to this group I was trying to stick with, and yeah, just so far, kind of first part of this race has not been going my way at all. Skipping forward to the end of this second lap, or towards the end of this second lap, and I'm making the decision to definitely run these corners, and yeah, definitely finding at this point in the race much faster to be off and running, and yeah, just kind of getting back on for the kind of downhill, and then jumping off again when it kind of like on the kind of off camber, and running back uphill again, just finding it, yeah, much quicker. You can kind of take a tighter line when you're running, and yeah, then it's just, again, like I said, on the last lap, it's just picking that moment to kind of jump back on, and get back up to speed. So now pretty much at the end of the second lap, and yeah, I've got pretty much zero grip on this front tyre, and as you see, they're falling off. Yeah, managed to get back on quickly, but yeah, just like I kind of said in the practice, every corner is just so unpredictable when you got riding around pretty much on a slick tyre, and yeah, with this kind of slick mud, it's just terrible, and yeah, not being able to change bike is, yeah, a massive disadvantage in this race. So yeah, as you can see here, the guy in front of me, he's going in at the end of this, I'm now on the third lap to change bike, and I'm obviously having to stay out, and yeah, he's got fresh grip, fresh tread, and yeah, you can see it in these next few corners how much more grip he has on a fresh bike compared to me on a bike that's been around for a couple of laps already. So yeah, he can take a nice tight line there, plenty of grip. I'm having to kind of fade wide and hopefully yeah, not go off out of the course, having to take things much more steadily. Yeah, he's just able to kind of like glide through these corners like I would have been able to a couple of laps ago. Now I'm really having to think about how and where I point my wheels, point my tyres, and when I put power down. So here's another example of someone coming through past me on a fresh bike. Yeah, look, all that tread he's got on those tyres, and just able to kind of glide past me into this wooded section when I'm really having to like think about, yeah, like I said, just having to overthinking. Yeah, I've just got no grip. I've just definitely got no grip, and things are just not going to get better for me through this race. Skipping forward a few laps, and I'm starting to find a bit more of a rhythm. There's a kind of a strange thing that happens in these kind of muddy races when it hasn't been raining but it's been muddy, where the kind of mud starts to kind of dry out a little bit, as like everyone kind of rides over everything, and all the kind of slickness on top kind of, yeah, starts to all the mud starts to get a bit more tacky, which yeah, for a lap or two is absolutely brilliant, as yeah, you find grip where you didn't have grip before, and yeah, you're able to kind of carry more momentum and carry more speed, and things just get better. So yeah, as you can see here now, I'm just starting to make inroads into that group that I lost contact with on the kind of the second lap or so, and yeah, just finding that rhythm. I'm kind of knowing what I'm doing. I'm running these sections. I'm just carrying as much momentum as possible, and trying to kind of limit how many mistakes I'm making. But the downside of it getting more tacky and more grippy is that the mud tends to stick to your bike and into your tyres and into your drivetrain even more, and that becomes a massive problem. And yeah, that means there's like more resistance on the drivetrain and on the wheels and stuff. And as you can see there, when I went to go and jump back on, my bike just came to a full stop, and yeah, just kind of struggling to get going again because of the amount of mud that's kind of clogged up in the bike and in the frame. And another guy there going past me, who has been able to change bike every lap, and yeah, not having these same problems. Yeah, it's just completely unfortunate. Obviously, yeah, you get the conditions get better for me in terms of the riding, yeah, the bike is just getting more and more clogged up. What I should have done is actually then made the decision to actually run less. So I should have been making sure I stay on the bike, even though it's probably slower through the kind of tighter corners and stuff. But what it would have meant is that, like, here I'm just really struggling to actually get the bike moving, and that's why I'm not jumping on yet. Not because it's just, yeah, I've just got no momentum, and you kind of want the bike to be able to kind of keep moving when you jump back on, especially when you kind of, it's slightly uphill, and yeah, it wasn't the case. So you can see the bike's moving nice and freely when I'm on it, and I should have just, yeah, for all of these last couple of laps, I should have stayed on the bike through these corners and just, yeah, carry that momentum in a different way. And that's all learning, and yeah, now, yeah, I was gaining on that kind of those few people ahead of me, but yeah, after that, those two moments getting them back on the bike, yeah, I probably shipped 15-20 seconds. So all of that work that I'd done was basically being undone with those kind of two mistakes. Yeah, I definitely needed a second bike in that race today. Oh, mate, yeah. Oh, absolutely screwed at the start there. James unclipping and yeah, taking me pretty like, and I crashed into him a little bit. You know, ran over his foot, and yeah, then I was like back in the mid pack, maybe back of the pack really, and it was a short way into the bit where it got quite technical and like single file. So yeah, I was really kind of having to fight my way through the first bit of woods, and yeah, trying to get myself back up into the actual race. But yeah, just too much really. By the time it opened up and I could put some power down, it was yeah, it was a little bit too late. So yeah, a bit screwed from the start. But yeah, then it took me a bit of a while to kind of get used to the corners and stop touching the brake so much, and trying to keep momentum. I actually crashed on this corner here, where you can see this yeah, this rut starting to form. Yeah, I think I caught it just before it was, yeah, just as it was starting to form, and yeah, my front wheel just like slid out. It's a bit like, yeah, it's a bit, I think it's because it's sandy underneath, and yeah, just my front, I don't know, have a clue, front wheel went out. Yeah, as you can see, my tyres are pretty much bald because the amount of mud pickup there's been. But yeah, then I was yeah, I tried to pick up the pace in the kind of second half of the race, and get back to Kyle, because yeah, I thought I'd beat him today, but then even he thought I beat him, but unfortunately, again, not to be. I was running this kind of section, this kind of like kind of like an off-camber kind of corner, and yeah, I went to jump back on the bike again, and just because all the mud pick up, it basically, my bike stopped dead, lost all momentum, and it's like slightly uphill. So yeah, it stopped me for a good few seconds, and yeah, just like that gave Kyle a few more meters, and yeah, with only a lap and a half left to go, I just wasn't really going to get back to him. Never mind. But yeah, I think next season, I think if I'm for like races like this, having a second bike is definitely something that's needed. I think yeah, I think even if it's a case of not like having a bike in the pits that you could go halfway or 3/4 of the race when your bike starts to clog up with mud, and yeah, just having a fresh bike, yeah, it just means this kind of second half of the race, this means you can kind of keep pushing. This felt like I was doing 500 watts everywhere, just trying to get over the friction of all the mud clogging it up. So yeah, disappointing, but yeah, that's it. So but yeah, overall a successful season, I'd have to say. Yeah, it's been my last race of the year. I can't unfortunately make the last 2 races on the league, so 5 races it is for me. Wanted to do 6, but yeah, the injury, the crash, couldn't do that. But yeah, successful year, and yeah, pretty much ticked off all my goals, and hopefully, well, most of my goals are definitely done, and hopefully I've convinced you guys to yeah, give cyclocross a go. I'm telling you, it is a lot of fun. Yeah, you get covered in mud, but yeah, as I say, it is a lot of fun. You definitely should give it a go. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.